So, what is this concept of unauthorized entry or unauthorized unlawful presence in the United States, and how does it relate to the green card process? So, anyone who enters without permission a visa, or anyone who enters with a visa and overstays that visa, could potentially accumulate what's called unauthorized presence or unlawful presence. If you do have that in your immigration history, it creates problems. So typically, if you are unauthorized, the immigration, USCIS, will not allow you to successfully interview and obtain a green card while inside the United States. Okay? The Biden administration has been very bad with this. In the past, if you entered with a visa, it didn't matter if you overstayed for 15 years. I had clients that stayed for 15 years past the expiration of their visa, zero issues. Because the important thing to the government before Biden was that you entered legally. Well, now that's not the case. And I'm not going to try to explain why that's the case now, but it is. So if you have unauthorized presence, that's a big problem, and you're going to have to try to fix that. There are ways to fix that. In most cases, it comes down to a waiver. So the waiver process, which I've done recent videos about the waivers, so the 601 and the 601A waiver can be used to eliminate that problem, to basically sanitize your immigration history, to allow you other options that don't otherwise exist because of the bar. So the way you do this is the same way you apply for a green card. It's through a sponsor, usually through your spouse. If you have a spouse who's a U.S. citizen or a legal permanent resident, they sponsor you for the green card process, whether that process is intending on getting you the interview inside the United States or if it's outside the United States. That sponsorship is the key to all that, okay? It's also the key to the waiver process. You have to have that relationship or another qualifying relative is what they call, to sponsor you or to make you eligible for the waiver. So it's either a spouse or a parent. It cannot be your children. So if you have a child that was born in the United States, whether you entered legally or not, they were born in the United States, they're a citizen, they are specifically by law excluded from the ability to sponsor you for a waiver. Okay? Intentional. The government doesn't want they don't want people to come to the United States, have their kids, and all of a sudden they have everything they need to become legal. Okay? They only do that for people that have a longer history in the United States, which is for parents or a U.S. citizen or legal permanent resident spouse. Okay? So if you have one of those qualifying relationships to be able to apply for the waiver, you can apply for the waiver, and what you would need to do is convince the government that your sponsor is going to suffer undue hardship, or extreme hardship is another term for it, if you're not allowed to stay in the United States, or you're not allowed to remove the bar so that you can come back to the United States after your interview. So unlawful presence creates those problems. The waiver is what you use to remove that problem, okay? So the process is very complicated. It's very technical, and it changes from month to month based on who's president, okay? So do not do this yourself. I know I say in a lot of my videos that these processes are not designed for normal people to do. The waiver, by far, is the process not designed for anyone but a lawyer to do, okay? It's complicated. It has legal analysis, legal requirements, legal proofs that you need to include, in addition to the proof of the relationship and the proof of the hardship to your sponsor. So hire somebody that knows what they're doing. It might cost you money, of course, but believe me, it's worth it. Because if you can get that waiver approved without having to get multiple requests, immigration basically give you notice that they're going to deny it because you didn't do it right, ask you for more and more information. You want it done right, and you want it done right the first time. So pay the money to have it done the right way and hire people that know what they're doing. I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this for over 11 years, specifically doing these sorts of requests. So contact me. Hire me to do these processes, and I will make sure that you get approved so you can adjust status in the United States, or you can get your green card outside the United States in return to be with your family and to be able to live and work and prosper inside the United States. It takes a little bit of time. It can take up to 3 years for the waiver process to go through, but that is getting better. It usually is around 12 months or a year and a half. But you don't want to do it yourself or hire somebody who doesn't know what they're doing, because it can make that wait time even longer. So call me. Contact our office. If you've read all of our material online, if you've seen all of our videos, you know that I'm the one who's going to be able to make you successful. I want you back here with your family. I want you to have a green card and to be able to work in the United States and to be on that path for citizenship. Give me a call.